Psychedelic Spotlight presents Spotlight on Psy Biotherapeutics.
Psy Biotherapeutics is a pure-play, intellectual property-driven biotechnology company. We do work with compounds that do have psychedelic properties, but we don't go out of our way to use those words psychedelic or hallucinogenic because the jury's still out on the value of some of these characteristics that these plants and fungi do offer. We're seeking out the therapeutic benefits of this, and we're doing this by leveraging the team's expertise. We actually have quite a large team in a collaboration around Miami University at Oxford, Ohio. So we have expertise in combinatorial biochemistry, translational research, synthetic biology, metabolic engineering, clin reg development, and of course, complex manufacturing. So we've put all of this together to build a world-class biotechnology company, taking advantage of the properties and characteristics that these psychedelic and hallucinogenic plants do offer. And we're doing this because we believe that there's an opportunity to build better medications by scientifically designed therapeutics.
I do want to touch on some recent news here from the company, and that was the announcement that the company had filed a new provisional patent application with the United States Patent and Trademark Office that contains 67 new inventive claims. Do you want to elaborate a little bit on this piece of news, the significance behind it, and help us understand how it ties into everything that's going on?
Yes, certainly. So I would absolutely agree that this news is significant. However, it's really not that more significant that when we consistently build our intellectual property portfolio. But the news I put out the other day that we have added NMDA receptor agonists and their associated analogs to our intellectual property portfolio is important because it adds into our combinatorial approach of building cocktails with these different analogs. So we do not touch these plants and fungi from a production process. We use their genetics, and we use the genetics of the actual active drug, which would be, say, psilocybin within a magic mushroom. Within a magic mushroom, there are other, what I will classify drugs as well, such as morpheocystin, aerogenacin, baocystin, and they come in different ratios, relatively fixed ratios within nature. By using this synthetic biology, we're able to re-ratio what occurs in nature to build better therapeutics.
Yeah, so when you talk about building better therapeutics, would it be fair to say that you're developing more patient-friendly options here from a psychedelics perspective? We're
building medications, which is the big difference. We can call cannabis a medication, and undeniably it is for some people. We can call a magic mushroom medication, which I'll reiterate, undeniably it is. I have unlimited anecdotes that come towards me, that personal and non-personal, that of stories shared of the positive effects that these psychedelics have had on people's lives. However, a magic mushroom is not a pharmaceutical product. It is not consistent. There is a high rate of variability. And sadly, on top of it, you have no idea what you're taking unless you've grown this yourself. And it's hard to cultivate a high quality plant. We are not using the magic mushroom. We're borrowing the genetics from these plants and fungi and building medications through a fermentation backed bioreactor strategy. So we're building the medications, and we're looking to go up against standard of care, which are, for the past 50 years, you're talking about selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, monoamine oxidase inhibitors, drugs that have, side effects.
How are you building a company here and laying the groundwork for a company that is going to promote value over the next several years?
We're building therapeutics, and we start off with intellectual property. So does a biotechnology company actually have an asset that they're developing? That's really important. We started off with an asset. We acquired the global exclusive rights to this platform technology that can biosynthesize these types of molecules. So that intellectual property, those initial patents that we filed, they're still pending. Everything that we filed is, within the last few months, last few years, it is still brand new intellectual property. It's fresh. So off of this intellectual property portfolio that we're building, we're looking to build out new medications by using this combinatorial approach. And the result should be new and improved therapeutics.
Just want to share what you can in terms of what you hope to see throughout the remainder of the year here with PsyBio.
Certainly. So We have a portfolio of 88 clinical candidates. We're actually only focusing on 40 right now, but in the short term, obviously, we're not putting that many candidates in the clinic. We're starting with one candidate, which would be biosynthetic psilocybin, and building upon that. And we've already announced to the market a scant amount of data where we show that we can reduce the amount of psilocybin and increase some of these metabolites and get a better therapeutic response by reducing these side effects. And we plan to be in the clinic in 2022. And that's what makes a biotechnology company. Taking drugs from the bench into testing, into commercial manufacturing, into applications with recognized healthcare bodies, and into the clinic and test on patients, moving towards approval.
Visit psychedelicspotlight.com to hear the full podcast interview with Evan Levine.